Welcome to Discover Janesville. My name is Yuri Rashkin, and we are guests here today at the Janesville Fire Station #1. And we have with us John McManus.
Hi,
John,
Yuri. Good to see you again.
good to see you again as well. So I was talking to a friend of mine, and I said, so what would you ask a fireman? And she said, is he married?
Yes.
See, so that's the first question that everybody wants to know. So there's a, you know, why did you become a firefighter?
Wow.
And I'll tell you why I'm asking this. My understanding is that your dad was a police officer, but you became a firefighter.
The answer to that question probably depends on who you ask. Now, if you ask my mother, she would say that when I was in the car seat in the back of the '69 Chevy, going down the road, and Jerry Burhands, who was my neighbor across the street, leaned down off the tailboard, which would be the back step of a fire engine, and said, "Hey, Jackie," and I reacted positively. She knew that would be my career choice.
Clicked.
Yeah, I have absolutely no memory of that. But generally, and I see this in our explorers. Kids, really driven kids, kind of usually have a list of 2 or 3 things, and police officer was always on my list, and my dad never sheltered me from the sorts of challenges that he faced in his career, and police officers, they're our brothers and sisters, and we give them a lot of ribbing on calls.
Right, and you work together a lot. I mean,
But the point is they have a different sort of patience than firefighters. It's just a different sort of patience. They have the sort of patience to go through a long investigative process and do their very best work, and then hand this thing that they've created over to lawyers. And that takes a real special kind of patience.
it's that first part of Law and Order.
And firefighters are doers. We are doers. Everything about this place, everything about this fire station, there's potential energy going out the door.
Anytime.
That's and you saw it,
Right.
in your first interview. You and I are here, but this isn't my time. This is my time at the firehouse, and
Right.
And
if we have to take a break because
part of my attention is always to what's going on around here, and
Right.
this is a fantastically busy place.
And clearly you love the energy.
I do.
So you've been doing this now for 13 years.
Yeah.
Yesterday I had the opportunity to go to the fireman graduation at the new Fireman's Park. That is it's impressive what was done with it. I mean, it's its own place.
A lot of credit goes to Kevin Murray and everybody he's able to. There are people in an orbit around Kevin Murray that he can get wonderful works done with, and if Kevin says, "Hey, I need you to haul bricks," well, then I'm going to go haul bricks.
Then people are glad
Yeah.
to haul bricks. Can you tell a little bit about what we saw yesterday in that ceremony?
There are a couple general things you saw, and then there are a couple really wonderful things about Janesville you saw yesterday. The general things you saw were a level of pride, honor, integrity, tradition that is part of the American Fire Service, and we can trace that lineage all the way back to Benjamin Franklin. All the symbols we have, everything on our shirts, the Maltese crosses on the doors, those all have meaning to us, and they're a reminder of where we've come from. What you saw specifically about Janesville yesterday is how Janesville's fire service is building traditions. We started doing graduations probably about 3 or 4 hiring processes ago, and started recognizing the people that have been promoted a couple promotions ago, mostly in an effort to kind of promote our collective knowledge, our collective feeling for this place, because there's a large group of firefighters that are going to be leaving us in the next 5 or 6 years, and a whole new bunch of fresh faces coming in the door, and So those ceremonies that you see are part of what keeps our family a family, what keeps our organization really special, and keeping those traditions, building those traditions is what is going to make this already good fire department a great fire department.
Can you talk about the training that it takes to become a firefighter? Because you guys are asked a lot.
So what we do here, you can explain it to a 5-year-old pretty easy. What we do here, this is my 5-year-old explanation. What we do here, if something's on fire that shouldn't be on fire, if you're hurt, sick, or stuck, we will come help. Now that really sums it up, but all of the fantastic things that could cause any of those events to happen are what makes this interesting and challenging, and what requires a really diverse group of people to make this whole operation come off. So fire, we're the fire department. There's big fire engines. There's a lot of energy and training that goes into fires. But the incidence of fire is not so much. Conversely, though, and we've seen a sort of a glide plane in the instance of fire in the last, say, there was a report a long time ago called America Burning back in the 70s, where a lot of things were burning. And as codes and fire safety and all that, there's been a glide plane on the incidence of fire.
Well, a lot of education, a lot of regulation, all of those kind of things.
On the flip side of that,
right?
So we have less fires, but the violence, intensity, heat, speed of those fires has gone up. So you need people that are constant learners to be firefighters, because you have something that's happening less often, but it's faster, bigger, more dangerous. So that's the first part about being a firefighter and your training is you're always going to
be a learner.
Absolutely. The second thing we do, and the thing we do most frequently, is deliver what we call EMS services, or emergency medical services. Now, it's most simply described as our ambulance service. We have 4 ambulances working every day with 2 paramedics assigned to them. But the things we do with EMS are so people intensive sometimes that we're sending 1, maybe 2 fire engines to complete those missions and deliver the services that our customers really need. So we have firefighters, and then everybody here is an EMT. That's the second component. And then we have all these other fantastic things going on the periphery that support what we do here. We have divers. We have a dive rescue team. And then we have our hazmat technicians. We're kind of the host fire department for the Rock County the Rock County Hazardous Materials Level B team. And so we staff that, and so there's a smattering of hazardous materials technicians. And then in the last 4 years or so, we've gotten an interested group of firefighters in what's called technical rescue, which covers high angle, trench rescue, confined space, and collapse rescue. And then the very, very last bit, and honestly, there's a point here. The very last bit is that supporting all these things, all these primary and secondary functions, we have a busy group of people spending time and giving of themselves on committees to drive all these programs. We're a fairly small fire department that's delivering a lot of service, and it's really exciting. So one educational track doesn't entirely sum it up. We have people that have experience out in industry, people that have experience out in the trades, people that have got experience from business, that have all come to us and made us a richer organization.